Okay, step 11 of the apron project. This is our last step. We are going to top stitch around the entire apron. We're going to start in one corner. We are going to be using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which is at the outside edge of the presser foot. We're going to just start here and pivot all the way around. This is why it's so important that we made sure that we pressed everything, that our straps are coming out, because if you continue with this step and you haven't fixed everything, fixing it after the fact is much more difficult because we're going to be sewing our opening shut. So we're going to line up. Now, the one cool thing that you could do here is rather than just doing a straight stitch, you could do a decorative stitch if you wanted. You could easily just do a zigzag, do a I don't know, a decorative stitch if you want to. It takes a little bit longer, but it kind of makes a cool effect of going around your apron. Straight stitch is what we're going to do. We are going to sew 1 or 2 stitches. We're going to make sure that needle is in the down position. We are sewing a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so we are just going to work our way around the apron. I like to keep one hand right here in front and one hand in back just to kind of stabilize my project a little bit. All I need to do is keep it lined up on this outside edge of my presser foot. I've got a little bit of a pucker going right there. There we go, fixed. That just sewed my opening shut. So now my apron project just needs to be finished top stitching, and all of my raw edges are going to be on the inside of my project. I reach that corner and I can pivot. As I'm top stitching, I want to make sure that I am careful that I'm not getting my straps tucked up in anywhere that I don't want them to be. We're just top stitching all the way around, following that outside edge of the presser foot. Here's my first strap. As I approach that corner, again, here's that curve, which sometimes has a tendency to startle or scare people a little bit. It's really not so bad. We just want to work our way up and around the apron, keeping it lined up on that outside edge of the presser foot. As we approach the top strap, once again, we want to just make sure that our strap is not getting caught in the seam. So that next strap is going straight up. We're working our way around, approaching that second curve, top stitching all the way around, keeping it lined up. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. One of the benefits of doing a decorative stitch here is that if you're not really great at sewing straight, the decorative stitch has a tendency to hide any imperfections versus a straight stitch that it makes it kind of pop. I'm sewing down my last side. We are approaching where we started this stitching at. I can see my little tail threads here. I'm going to back stitch when I start, and when I stop, I'm going to put that needle up. I'm going to trim my threads. If my apron needs one final pressing, I will do that. Then I will grade it and I will take it to my teacher for grading, and your apron is done.